Hello friends, myself Dr. Vishnu Charan Das welcome you to Chemistry Buds and my video series on phase rules. Today's video is the remake of the first video. As in the first video the audio quality is not appreciable. So in the phase rule or phase equilibrium is an important chapter in physical chemistry and also thermodynamical point of view. The phase rule finds its application in industry, basically the metallurgical industry, extraction of metals. And this is a tool, important tool for quantitative treatment of a system in equilibrium. And also it enables to predict conditions that must be specified for a system to exhibit equilibrium. In this chapter, there are some key words like phase, component, degree of freedom. In today's video, I will discuss phase and its calculations. How can you determine number of phases in the system? So first of all, we should start from the definition, that is any homogeneous and physically distinct part of the system which is bounded by a surface and is mechanically separable from the other parts is called phase. So in these definitions there are also some words like this homogeneous and physically distinct, mechanically separable and system. Okay. So first of all we will know what is system. So, to understand system, the universe is divided into two parts. One is system and surrounding. So, system means something separated by a boundary from the rest of the universe. Okay. So, the systems are of three types, that is a closed system, open system and isolated system. Okay. So open system, the best example is your beaker and you take water in it. So both heat and matter can exchange. So this is open system. And for closed system, the mass exchange is not allowed. Say we have taken water in it and it is sealed. Then the heat can exchange through the boundary, but mass cannot exchange. So this is closed system. Isolated system, that is the mass and energy cannot be exchanged. So it is isolated system. The example is your thermostat. Okay. So heat hot water in thermostat. So it is a isolated system. Then we will come to the word homogeneous. So what is a homogeneous system? Okay. So what is a homogeneous system? The best example is the mixture of gases. The air we breathe is a mixture of gases, and in this air, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, the different gases are present, and they are homogeneous. You can collect sample from any part; it will contain the nitrogen, oxygen, and other gases in proper proportion. So this is homogeneous. Say two miscible liquids. One is the water and alcohol. Say methanol or ethanol. So two liquids, when mixed, they become one liquid because of the homogeneous. So this is homogeneous system. That means the two after mixing are not distinguishable. Say water and salt. Salt is a solid, water is liquid. So put some salt in water. So this salt dissolves in water and it becomes homogeneous. So homogeneous means after mixing different components, we cannot distinguish the components or the species from one another. So homogeneous systems are there. Similarly, we can have the heterogeneous systems. Okay. Heterogeneous system. Okay. So heterogeneous, when different species mix, they are distinguishable. Say oil and water. If we mix these two, then they will form two different layers. So this is a heterogeneous. So we have the solubility rule: light dissolves light. That is, polar substances dissolve in polar solvent, and non-polar solvents dissolve non-polar solids. Okay. So if we take water plus carbon tetrachloride, so they will not mix, they form two different layers. So they are heterogeneous. And also, say the two liquids are partially miscible. The best example, your phenol and water. So when it is below the solubility range, then it is homogeneous. There is solubility range, so certain amount of phenol dissolves in water. So after that it is insoluble, immiscible. So when the solubility range is within the solubility, then it is homogeneous. When the solubility range exceeds, it becomes heterogeneous. So let us consider a mixture of solids, say sodium chloride, potassium chloride. The sodium chloride have definite crystal structure, and potassium chloride have different crystal structures. So because of different crystal structures, after mixing, they are distinguishable. They can be distinguished. So that is heterogeneous. Okay. Mixture of solids, forms heterogeneous systems. So now we have understood homogeneous system and heterogeneous system and types of system. And so far as phase is concerned, it is physically distinct part of a system which is bounded by a surface and is mechanically separated. When the species is distinct, then we can separate it mechanically. Okay. So, with different examples, we will calculate phases for different systems. So, let us consider the mixture of the gases. We have taken arbitrarily A and B, two gases. So the two gases form homogeneous mixture. So phase for this is equal to 1. But in this mixture, if gas A had more van der Waals force than gas B, then what will happen? When two gases enclosed in this system, the sum of the gas A become liquefied to the liquid form, or some droplets of liquid will be formed. So in this system, what will we observe? We observe the gas and some liquids. So number of phases is equal to 2. So there are two distinct phases. One is gas phase and one is the liquid phase. So under different conditions, the system behaves differently. Now let us consider the gas and water mixture. So the gas and water mixture, if the gas is highly soluble in water, that is ammonia plus water, hydrochloric acid plus water. The ammonia and the hydrochloric acid, they are highly soluble in water. So when the gas is soluble in water, so the pH is equal to 1, and if the gas is less soluble in water, say your H2S, nitrogen, hydrogen, these gases are less soluble in water. So this will form two distinct layers. So in this case, pH is equal to 2. Okay. When the gas is less soluble, the pH is 1. When the gas is highly soluble, the pH is 1. When it is less soluble, the pH is number of pH is equal to 2. And when the gas is highly soluble and it is supersaturated, that means you must have seen in the laboratory when you are opening the HCl bottle, some gases are coming out of the bottle. So in that case, the pH will be equal to 2. And now we come to another point, true solutions. We have different types of solutions, true solutions, colloidal solutions, suspended solutions. The true solution, the particle size is less than 1 nanometer. Okay? So for this, we will consider the example. Say water plus salt. Okay? We have taken here water plus NaCl. So if salt is a solid. So when you add some solid to water, it becomes soluble and homogeneous. So two species after adding it forms one because of the homogeneous. So the pH is equal to 1. Water plus sugar, similarly the pH is equal to 1. And if you take water and ethanol, we have already considered water and ethanol, water and methanol, they are soluble in all proportion and form homogeneous solution. So pH is equal to 1. Carbon disulfide and ether. Ether is a good solvent, organic solvent. So this is also form homogeneous. So pH is equal to 1. But when we are adding this is solid, so after saturation, some solids will be deposited below at the bottom. That means in the above it is salt solution and some salts are there. So for this the pH is equal to 2. So after saturation, suppose let us consider the solubility is 20 gram. Okay, 20 gram of salt. If we add 20 gram of salt to this 100 ml of water, then it is soluble. Okay. So in another container, if you take 100 ml of water, 100 ml water, and we put 25 gram salt, then the 20 gram goes to solution and the 5 gram of salt is remaining as solid at the bottom. So the number of phases in this case is equal to 2. So in the case of true solution, below saturation it is 1 phase. So above saturation it is 2 phase. Okay. So above saturation pH is equal to 2. Okay. So now we will consider another point, that is colloidal solutions. So colloidal solutions are heterogeneous because the colloidal solutions there is a dispersion phase and the dispersion medium. So the solvent is a dispersion medium and the solute is dispersion phase. And the particle size is from the range 1 to 1000 nanometer. Okay. So, but to the naked eye, the colloidal particles are not visible, but they exhibit Brownian movement, Tyndall effect, electrophoresis, cataphoresis like properties because of their particle nature and heterogeneous nature. So, say let us consider the water and AgCl. So AgCl is insoluble or sparingly insoluble. That's why it forms a colloidal solution in water, and when it is colloidal solution, the number of species in the solution are 2. So the pH is equal to 2. So if you add another solid, say Ag to this solution, then number of colloidal particles are 2. One is AgCl, another is Ag. So, and what is the dispersion medium? And in dispersion phase there are 2 solids. So, pH will become 3. Okay. So, if we consider the next point, that is a mixture of solids. So mixture of solids, say we have taken the iron powder and the copper powder. So far as color is concerned, iron powder have different color, copper powder have different color, and if we mix them, they will form a uniform mixture, and the particles are distinguishable because of their color and also because of their crystal structure. Okay. So, for example, sand, sugar, salt, sugar, if we take and mix it thoroughly, then the mixture will be homogeneous. Mixture will be uniform. But the sand, salt, sugar, they are distinguishable. So, the number of phases in this case will be 3. So, number of solid mixed is equal to number of phases in case of solid because of their distinct crystal structure. But if it is a solid solution, the solid solution it is homogeneous. When the metals are mixed to form the solid solution, the best example is your alloy, and the alloy of silver and copper, it is a solid solution. Okay. So when solid forms solid solution, the phase is equal to 1. So now consider another point. Say calcium carbonate solid, when it is heated, it forms calcium oxide solid and carbon dioxide gas. Okay. So calcium carbonate is solid, calcium oxide is solid, so two different solids, and another one is the gas. So number of phases in this case is equal to 3. Let us take ammonium chloride solid and heat it. When it will be heated, it gives ammonia gas and HCl gas. So these two gases are homogeneous. Okay, and phase is equal to 1, and ammonium chloride solid phase is equal to 1. So the total number of phases is equal to 2 for this system. So now let us consider the hydrated salts. The hydrated salt or a mixture of solid we have already considered. So you know the blue vitriol, green vitriol. So the blue vitriol copper sulfate 5H2O, copper sulfate 3H2O, copper sulfate H2O, and these hydrated salts have different crystal structure and they are distinguishable because of their different crystal structures. So in this case there are 3 different solids, so phase is equal to 3. Now we are considering the chapter phase rule or phase equilibrium. When the system consists of number of phases and the phases are in equilibrium, then we can say the number of phases it may be physical equilibrium or chemical equilibrium. So water vapor in a container, we have taken water, then after some time some water vapors will be formed in the above it in the container. So there are two phases, and these two phases are in equilibrium at particular temperature and pressure. So this is a physical equilibrium. So there is no chemical change. In liquid state there is a water, and in vapor phase there is also water. But the example we have considered, that is the calcium carbonate solid, it changes to calcium oxide solid plus carbon dioxide gas. So this is a chemical equilibrium. If it is taking place in a closed vessel, then it is a chemical equilibrium. And there are three phase system. So in this way, you can calculate the number of phases in a system. I hope you have got a thorough idea about the phase, definition of phase, and calculation of phase in different systems. I hope you will like my video and share among your friends. You have to pay nothing, giving your like and sharing. Thank you very much for watching this video.